Welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, named after the brothers whose idea for a race in Mexico was so compelling that it got presidential approval. And we're glad it did. Welcome along to the Mexico City Grand Prix. We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Hamilton, George Russell and Piastri, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Sainz and Alex Albon, Stroll, Lawson, Fernando Alonso and Hadjar, Gasly, Hülkenberg, Gabriel Bortoleto and Esteban Ocon, Behrman and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. So here we are, 2.2 kilometres up in the air, which I know is an unusual feeling for you, Mr. Davidson, but for the drivers, it's even worse.
It is. The altitude can certainly get to your head, Crofty, that's for sure. Especially when you're walking up the stairs to the commentary box. I've seen it firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. But this circuit, the problem with the altitude is it takes away your downforce. You have to go slower around the corners because you've got less downforce, even though you've got Monaco wing packages on your car. That's the challenge of this incredibly unique circuit.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Radio. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Okay, DRS is now available. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
It's quite good.
And here's the checkered flag for our winner today. Well done and hats off to Gabriel Bortoleto.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. Congratulations and well done. It's Gabriel Bortoleto. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon. It's time for today's race at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache here in Sao Paulo. And as any of the 80,000 capacity crowd will tell you, this is going to be a fantastic race. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Tsunoda, Norris, Piastri, Sainz, and Isaac Hadjar, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Liam Lawson, and Albon, Hülkenberg, Behrman, Pierre Gasly, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Doohan and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Interlagos, always one of my favourite weekends of the season. Love Brazil, adore this track.
Absolutely spot on, Crofty. I wish you could pick this circuit up and place it, copy-paste it on multiple different locations around the planet, because it is sensational to watch, sensational to drive. And for all these drivers here in Brazil, it's a great time to get stuck into this Interlagos circuit. It's an anti-clockwise track, lots of important corners to get right, and it's a track where you can make or lose an awful lot of lap time.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
There was a bit of a failure in the radio, but all good.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far.
I'm not sure I should be happy for that, but I'm actually happy, so good.
And it's a win, and what a win for Gabriel Bortoleto.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. Thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. And that top spot waits for one driver. Today, it's Gabriel Bortoleto. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.